A very good evening. Much thanks for joining us here on the program. The day is the 7th of March 2023 and you're just on time for Look Up News. I am Nelima and our sign language interpreter for tonight is Josephine Oko. Do stay with us as we bring you up to spirit stories that are making headlines today. But before we get into all that business, here are our top stories.
The question was, are you taking Waziri to court? They said they are not taking Waziri to court today.
We realized they were on a fishing expedition. They were not asking questions about Section 23 or about what was contained in the summons.
Tonight on Look Up News, former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i grilled for hours by the DCI detectives. But what next?
This is a public office, and I have the right to go inside.
Unity of purpose. Raila shows up at the DCI headquarters to stand with Matiang'i. And Maxine Wahome to be charged with Asad Khan's murder. Once more, welcome to the broadcast. The hashtag is LookUpNews. Do stay with us for the next few minutes as we bring you up to speed. And as well, you can stream this live broadcast across all our social media platforms, all at LookUpTV on Twitter, LookUpTV on Facebook, and LookUpTV on our YouTube channel. Let's begin. Former Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i will officially be charged after being interrogated by DCI officers. Matiang'i will be charged with conspiracy to commit a felony contrary to Section 317 of the Penal Code and publication of false information contrary to Section 23 of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act No. 5 of 2018. As per the charge sheet circulated to the press, this comes after a series of claims that the former CS home was raided by police officers.
Troubles bedeviling former CS Fred Matiang'i has today gone a notch high after he was handed a charge sheet ready to appear in court. Despite being accompanied by a battery of lawyers, their pleadings were thwarted as the embattled Matiang'i was kept waiting for hours before knowing his fate.
We have been there more than 30 times asking them to tell us what the decision is. Is the CS under arrest? Is he detained or no? And every other time we are being told they are consulting, which seems that directions are coming from outside the investigators.
According to the dummy charge sheet, Matiang'i is faced with two different charges, including conspiracy to commit a felony and publication of false information.
They gave a charge sheet of 2 counts. I've circulated to the media that Waziri is going to be charged with the 2 counts. We told them that is okay.
Lawyer Dunstan Omari explains of the fracas that took place when the former CES was being registered before being charged.
They took the fingerprints of Waziri. He said that is procedure. They tried to get that logo, that famous DCI logo of petty thieves to put on the CS. We objected vehemently and almost exchanged blows. It is not provided for under any law. It has been declared illegal and unconstitutional by Justice Kimaru. So they removed that area.
Lawyer Omari has also claimed that there is a conspiracy to suppress Matiang'i as the DCI officers are receiving instructions on the case from someone outside the department.
The snag what you are seeing push and pull is that Waziri, a date must be given by somebody somewhere outside when they will take to court. Most likely they want to shop which favorable court they will take Waziri, because a date to court is as simple as saying, Waziri, let Waziri appear tomorrow.
From today's events, Dr. Fred Matiang'i's case is expected to take a different turn as he will be waiting for the judicial system to determine his fate. Samidika, Look Up TV.
And staying with that story, the former Interior CS Fred Matiang'i today morning presented himself at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations headquarters to record a statement in regards to the alleged raid at his current residence by police on February 9th. Ian Keitani with the details.
After failing to show up to record a statement on the alleged raid at his home, the DCI issued summons to former Interior CS Fred Matiang'i to appear at the headquarters this morning for questioning. At around 8 a.m. this morning, Fred Matiang'i's motorcade made its way to the DCI headquarters along Kiambu Road. The former CS on board, ready to record his statement with the investigating officers regarding the raid on his current home. Matiang'i was flanked by various leaders, top among them former Devolution CS Eugene Wamalwa, Rarieda MP Otiende Amolo, Kisii Senator Okongo Omogeni, Kitutu Chache MP Richard Onyonka, his lawyer Dunstan Omari, among other leaders. One after the other, they made their way into the main entrance, and to their surprise, they were denied entry. A war of words ensuing between Dunstan Omari and one of the manning officers.
You don't know the Minister for Interior? You don't know Senator? Here's the number. Four of you, we fought, enter, forget about that. I was here, yes. I know I'm being as told you for. When you'll be arrested, I'll defend you the way I was defended.
Despite the powers and privileges accorded to him as one of the most powerful CSs during the previous regime, Matiang'i was forced to bask in the sun awaiting his turn to record a statement. The former CS, who returned from the UK on Sunday, was full of thoughts while awaiting his turn to be questioned, signaling how swift fortunes can change. Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
Thank you, Keitani, for that story. Now, Azimio Party leader Raila Odinga has termed the former CS Fred Matiang'i's words as political witch hunt. As our reporter Shadra Kareria now reports, Odinga, who arrived at the DCI headquarters in solidarity with Matiang'i, was denied to access the DCI facility.
What seems like a political strangles at the Directorate of Criminal Investigation headquarters, the opposition leader Raila Odinga arrived at the facility, where the former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i had been detained for hours. However, things did not go as per Odinga's expectations, as the police who were manning the gate denied him access, forcing him to terminate his visit. Odinga condemned the act, terming Matiang'i's oaths as a political witch hunt directed to his allies.
This is a public office. You want me to order this to open the first? This is a public office. How can you be allowed to see the direction?
Consultation is private.
What kind of consultations? Look here. This is a public office. And I have the right to go inside. What law is that?
Matiang'i's lawyers and other politicians condemned the occasion, accusing the government of playing petty politics as they vowed to stand with Matiang'i to the end.
And there are no serious charges but allegations. We are convinced as a legal team that what is going on here is a vendetta. What we are talking about is vindictiveness. What we are talking about is vengeance by William Ruto and his Kenya Kwanza team.
Mr. President, understand that you need to manage Kenyans as brothers and sisters. Dr. Fred Matiang'i for the Kisii nation is what you are to the Kalenjin nation. You touch Dr. Matiang'i, then you are in trouble in Kisii.
They were not asking questions about Section 23 or about what was contained in the summons. They were asking Dr. Matiang'i everything about his life, where he lives, what property he has, what farming he has, and other things.
We want to tell Kenya Kwanza government that from today onwards, we, the Kisii community from Nairobi, we are going to defend Matiang'i.
After a all-day occasion, former CS Matiang'i is now a free man, but the lawyers who accompanied him insist that Matiang'i is innocent and whatever has been happening is purely political witch hunt. Reporting for Lookuptv from DCI headquarters in Nairobi County, my name is Shadrach Kareria.
Thank you, Kareria, for that detailed story. Now, switching gears, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, now says that it's keenly following the ongoing audit by counties on pending bills and ghost workers. The commission noted that though the audit was internal, it was keen to learn the results and intervene where necessary. This came as the anti-graft agency body expressed its concerns over rising cases of fake academic documents among senior officers in both the national and county governments.
In the last couple of weeks, several county governments have been engaged in an audit of its staff and pending bills running into billions of shillings. Several counties have raised queries on some of the tenders awarded to various contractors a few months to the general elections. According to Commissioner Cecilia Mutuku from EACC, they were closely following the ongoing audit before taking necessary actions.
We are working very closely with the public institutions, the counties. We have been to 27 counties. Indeed, we call ourselves preachers. We keep on preaching about good practices of ethics in institutions, and that's why we are here.
The commissioner was, however, coy on the results of preliminary investigations, noting that some of the issues were already in court.
And the prevention through partnerships is where whoever is supposed to do that at the entry point should be held accountable, so that it's done at the beginning, not for EACC to come after and start following what happened. Somebody is employed by every institution, even where you are coming from, to check your certificates. It's their responsibilities. They are paid for that. People should do their work.
On the issue of fake academic documents, Mtuku noted that this was a rift in both the national and county governments, with several suspects already facing cases in court. She challenged professional bodies to work with the commission in rooting and addressing the menace which is becoming a problem.
Issues of fake academic certificates, we have seen them. They don't only exist in the counties. It's like a serious root cause issue. And every institution, of course, has an HR function, which is mandated to check out these academic qualifications before you bring in any staff. That's why we are saying we need to partner with this body so that people do their work.
She further noted that the commission could not win the fight on graft alone, adding that they were engaging government institutions and counties in the exercise. Cecilia Lubanga, Lookuptv.
And now to the corridors of justice. The main suspect in the murder of rally driver Asad Khan Maxine Wahome is said to be charged with murder at the High Court on Wednesday, as there is alleged evidence that could link her to the murder. This comes after DPP recommended the suspect to be charged with murder after receiving the final case file following investigations from the state prosecutor James Kashoga. Abigail Shira with more on that story.
2 weeks after the last hearing, Maxine Wahome and the main suspect in the murder of rally driver Asad Khan is now said to be charged with murder at the High Court on Wednesday. This comes after the DPP got the final case file of investigations from the state prosecutor and approved that all evidence was pointing to a murder charge. The court ruled that Maxine should be taken in for a mental examination before taking murder plea on Wednesday.
Issue of the processing of the respondent for the murder charges will be dealt with before the High Court. So I mentioned the matter virtually on Monday, 13th, for the purpose of the closure of the file.
Steve Kimathi, Maxine's lawyer, has however asked that the miscellaneous file be closed, confirming that she has not absconded any court hearing.
This respondent is not a flight risk, has presented herself in court on each and every occasion required, has cooperated with the investigation at every step, and indeed no basis has been laid to say that she will not be present in court tomorrow.
Abigail Shira, Lookuptv.
This is Lookup News. Do let us know you're watching us from, and keep your comments and your feedback coming in. I'll be sampling some of them at the tail end of this bulletin. Don't go too far.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design. With branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa, our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competency, and employability skills. Enroll today to be a part of a center of excellence.
Kamata Mita Instant na Lotto. Draws ni 24 daily, yani kila saa na 50 bob unashinda zaidi ya shilingi milioni moja. Sio ndoto, unangoja nini? Cheza Lotto, it could be you. Nenda kwa M-Pesa paybill number 777-000. Andika neno Look kama account number. Cheza na kati ya shilingi 50 hadi shilingi 2,000 na ushinde sasa. Round hii ni more draws, more cash and big wins na Lotto.
Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCLB.
Are you a junior secondary school, a college, a TVET institution or a university, and you want to advertise your intake? Book now and advertise with us today on both Lookuptv and all our digital platforms. Call us today on 011 0430 158, 011 0430 158, or email us on sales@lookuptv.co.ke.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with Lookup TV. The hashtag is Lookup News. Kenya Revenue Authority is planning to roll out an electronic tax invoice management system, otherwise known as ETIMS, to provide technological convenience in a bid to enhance tax collection and compliance needs. The system, which will now be accessed on various platforms such as computers and smartphone apps, is hailed as more convenient, user-friendly and flexible for business to use. And as our reporter Henry Tende now files, the digitization of the tax system is projected to boost tax returns for the next financial year up to 400 billion shillings as demanded by President William Ruto.
Kenya still records disparity in value-added tax to gross domestic products ratio, making it lag behind in terms of optimal tax collection when compared to countries such as Rwanda and South Africa. This move has seen President William Ruto pile pressure on KRA to improve efficiency that will increase tax revenue. In this line, KRA now says it is in the process of employing a new electronic system borrowed from Rwanda that will enable the authority better manage business transactions to improve on tax collection.
VAT performs at 4% to GDP, so there is room for growth, and that tells you that there is a gap that needs to be filled. The gap, which is what we call the tax gap, is what we are not collecting that we ought to have collected, not by increasing revenue, but by increasing efficiency.
The new electronic tax invoice management system will enable traders to transact online and receive invoices electronically. The government aims to eliminate tax evasion through enhanced efficiency and data collection and projects to collect additional tax revenue in excess of 400 billion shillings.
If our economy right now is 13 trillion Kenya shillings, a 1 percentage point is 130 billion already. So if we are talking about 3 percentage points, we are looking about 390, almost 400 billion. You understand that is the opportunity cost. That's what we are not collecting. And this annual, that you can be able to use the system and close that gap. and collect that, just by bringing in efficiency.
President William Ruto has insisted that there is need for KRA to up its game in tax collection and has so far effected far-reaching changes in the top leadership of the authority. KRA is banking on this new system to increase revenue for the year 2023-2024 to bridge budget deficit.
Once this has been put in place and is working efficient, you can be able to expand that to other taxes. Because also, when you talk about corporate taxes, there is still a tax gap. If we are going to go to 20% to GDP, and we are trying to get 3% here using VAT, then there's another 2 percentage points. We have got to look somewhere else. So that can be extended to the income taxes. It can also be extended to the excise taxes, because excise is about stocks and is about products that are accessible. So this can be extended to that. So there's whole lots of advantages that comes with this system.
Different from the current electronic tax register, the ATIM system is user-friendly and can easily be accessed through computers and mobile phones.
South Africa is collecting just about 10% of VAT to GDP. 10%. Rwanda, I've told you 7.5%. You'll be able to see that because they are closer home here. And Kenya, we are doing 4%. So it tells you the elasticity, the opportunity that is there for us to be able to leverage and collect just by bringing in efficiency in the tax system.
The system has been used to great success in South Africa and neighboring Rwanda and has been in pilot phase in the country in January and February. Henry Tende, Lookuptv.
Thank you, Tende, for that. And staying on the same, following the move by the Kenya Revenue Authority to suspend tax relief in totality, the decision has become a subject of debate in the Senate, with members of the House rising to seek clarity on the matter. Nominated Senator Crystal Asige says the move will greatly affect people living with disability, who are the ones that benefit greatly from tax exemption.
Number 6, notices of motion.
The Upper House on Tuesday, during its sitting and debate on the adoption of the report on finance on the 2023 midterm debt management strategy, the debate on the suspension of tax relief took center stage.
Very serious issue. It goes beyond even this statement that some individuals within KRA must face full force of the law, because this issue of tax relief was a noble idea, but it was misused along the way, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, looking even at our budget, Mr. Speaker, you have heard from the budget policy statement and even the chair of budget in the National Assembly indicate that we might end up borrowing 860 billion to finance our budget, which is deficit, Mr. Speaker. It is because this issue of tax relief, tax exemptions, tax evasion are being misused and abused by individuals who don't want to pay taxes, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, it forces our budget to go on tax deficit, Mr. Speaker. If everybody can pay tax, Mr. Speaker, in this country, as the President William...
If he has spent some time in business school, he would know there's a difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. Tax evasion is a criminal offense. Tax avoidance is the reason why accountants go to school. Mr. Speaker, before Senator Kalwale imputes improper motives on commercial private interests operating,
let the Senator make his point.
Operating in a free market economy, Mr. Speaker, Senator Kalwale needs to be careful so that if he's going to call for investigations, it should be for tax evasion and not tax avoidance.
However, people living with disability find themselves in the crossfire between government and multi-millionaire corporations, with senators seeking clarity to protect PWDs.
Find out the number of PWDs employed in Kenya, stating the number of tax exemptions certificates from KRA awarded to these employees. State the criteria used in deciding the class of taxpayers affected, clarifying the objective and the goal of the exercise. State whether the relevant stakeholders were engaged, tabling evidence of the same. And finally, Mr. Speaker, state immediate targeted interventions, if any, available for persons with disabilities affected by the ambiguity of this directive. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Been abusing these tax exemptions, people who are not people with disability. But Mr. Speaker, I want to urge that KRA does not punish those people with disability because we have rogue people who are actually do not have any disabilities.
The tax suspension was effected to help in raising revenue and closing the gap of tax evasion. Brian Amoy, Lookuptv.
Thank you, Moy, for that story. Now, students from pastoral communities affected by drought have benefited from 45 million shillings bursary allocation by CDF in Samburu with the help of Samburu Member of Parliament, West Naisula Lesuda. Gladys Masharia with more.
Samburu West MP Naisula Lesuda has launched a 45 million shilling bursary to assist college and secondary students affected by the biting drought in the North Rift. The students have not been attending school as they have been depending on livestock to pay fees, as many livestock have died and parents left with nothing to cater for their children's school fees.
Jamani, tukipata hii pesa kidogo, sukumeni tufunge shule bila kufukuza watoto shule.
The leader wanted teachers not to chase students from school as drought has affected the region and parents are vulnerable, adding that the bursary that has been provided will hold the students in school as they plan on what to do next. 10,424 students have benefited from the bursary allocation in Samburu West's constituency.
For the last 3 seasons, tumekuwa na failed seasons 3 times. Hatuna mifugo, hatuna mahindi ama chakula, na ambao sisi tumekuwa tukitegemea mambo ya shamba na mifugo yetu kusomesha watoto wetu kama sisi hapa watu wa Samburu West.
The Lusuk Ward MCA, Felix Kaunda, said that for the last 3 seasons there have been no rains and the drought has affected the parents, and as the area MCA was worried about what to do to the students who are at home due to lack of school fees.
Saisi hata hatuna mifugo ya kusema tunauza. Gharama ya maisha ndio hiyo imekuwa juu. Lakini leo tumepata mzoada ya CDF. Sisi tunafurahia mheshimiwa wetu Naisula Lesuda.
One of the parents, Nuria Lenemiria, said that her children were home and she did not have food nor school fees to give as they were depending on the school to give food to her children. She was so thankful for the CDF bursary allocation as students will go back to school and will be fed. Gladys Masharia, Lookuptv.
Time now for our sports news. Football Kenya Federation coach assistants are taking part in a 10-day CAF instructors course. The program kicked off yesterday at Kenya Institute of Special Education under Ethiopian CAF instructor and FIFA technical expert Abraham Merbatu. Various club coaches embraced the program as a way of building the capacity of local coaching.
Instructors course for